Hello, my name's Antony Cummins. Now, welcome to this video. If you don't know, I research ninjutsu, basically, the arts of the ninja. And I'm an author and we work with TV to publish the truth behind the ninja history, which is pretty much misunderstood. So I'm here in Japan at the moment, this is my guest house, and I've got a story to tell you about an amazing series of coincidences that led to sort of me becoming a very happy man. So, what I'll show you is, I'm here at the moment in Japan collecting ninja scrolls. Now when I say collecting, what I mean is this. This is the Shinobi Hiden. This is actually a transcription that nobody's seen yet. It's been buried in a museum and it's got an extra bit in. But this is what I mean by collecting ninja scrolls, i.e. photocopies, because they're very, they're quite difficult to get hold of, quite difficult to find. So, but there are a few people in this world, I'm talking a very few, who actually own real ninja scrolls. Now, there's not many of them, and they're usually very rich. One is a cartoonist, she's a millionaire, usually universities or museums have been donated. Nakashima works with us, he's a surgeon, and he collects them. So, what happened was, Krista from Budo Ryu, if you don't know, she runs like a martial arts school, she sent me a link to a shop, and the shop was sold old manuals. So I went down to the shop, it was quite a distance actually, and they didn't have any on ninjutsu or anything like that, which we didn't expect. We expected to look for something else. And I found a book, but when I was there they said, oh, why don't you go to the book fair, it's only open for 2 days, the book fair next week. So I said, okay then. Now I went to the book fair with a friend called Miyako. Here's a picture of her. Miyako is actually working with us now. She's learning Sosho and she's doing Sosho. That's grass style writing, a really difficult writing. And she's put together with the instructor a Sosho group. And this Sosho group are using one of our photocopies. It's a rare, pretty rare ninja text that nobody knows exists. I found it by, not accident, but by, a series of links. And they're working on it. So, me and Miyako went to the bookshop and we're looking around this book fair for this book. And looking for another collector called Robert online. We didn't find anything for him though that he wanted. So looking for this book, I found it. We paid for it, I was happy. We went out and we were just leaving and getting my bag back and getting all the stuff. And there's a cabinet with the expensive scrolls in all the sometimes not so expensive scrolls. And I was waiting for Miyako to get her stuff. And this old man came over with a key and he's like, I'll open it. I was like, oh, okay then. So we're going through the different scrolls and there's like some really expensive, some, not so expensive. And there's one scroll there that, some were ikebana, like flower collecting, some were archery, some was tea. But there's one scroll that had no name, just a scroll, makimono. And because the bit had sawn off, we could only open it so far because it's quite a small cabinet. But when we looked at it, because it's Sosho, you can't read it instantly, you have to study Sosho to read it. Miko says, Anthony, this sounds so familiar. She said, it's almost like the manual we're doing at the club for you, your manual. And she said, it's got like wind, rain, avoiding, it's got burglar, thieves. So I thought, I'll buy it as a risk, I'll buy it. So I went to the shop, didn't I? So we went to coffee and I bought it. Now we're opening up, we're having coffee and tea, and we're opening up this, and it turns out the manual is on beautiful paper. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got gold, it's actual real gold paint that's painted. And as we opened it further and further and further, you see it's quite big, start saying Shinobi this, Shinobi that, Shinobi. My face lights up. I've actually found a real Shinobi manual. And it turns out, what an amazing coincidence. The only reason she knew this was on because she just worked on the sentence that she saw last week. And the one in the museum is a transcription, we think, of this possibly. So it's just like, oh my god, she only just noticed it. So I get it home, we have a proper look and we get it out on some tables and stuff like that, and I'll show you pictures of that at the end. And we get to the end and it's 1678 this is printed in. And in fact, here's the end of the scroll. That name is Hagiwara Juzo. I've never heard of him before, we don't know what school he's from, but the date says 1678. Now Miyako says the red stamp on it over his, that's a personal, you see the little sign with a red stamp, that means he personally wrote it. But the date is 1678. Now Yoshie thinks, that's my partner, business partner, She thinks this paper is too good for 1678, and maybe. So we don't know if it is the original or whether it's just been kept in really good condition. We're going to have to take it to an expert. So I had Yoshie look on the internet through the Japanese scroll collecting market for this guy's name. And you'll never guess what came up. His name came up. So we went today to another scroll collector, and the woman, she had a look at this, and she says she doesn't know if it's real or not. She says the ink looks too light, maybe, but I need to take it to a real professional. She says her father was the collector of scrolls, but he's passed away now, and she's just, she's selling art. So I went down today. Look at that. This is the scroll that has the same name as this. Now it turns out we don't know what the name of this scroll is because the end is missing. That's why it was relatively cheap. But this one is called the Mizukagami, and if you know about the ninja world, the Mizukagami is quite important. Now there's a few of them. There's Kampo Mizukagami, which is an Iga scroll, and there's another one which is owned by Nakashima Sensei, which he paid a fortune for. Now this one, I don't know if it's the same version as Nakashima's. I'm not sure. It's definitely not the same version as the Shinobi one. But it turns out I have bought the same scroll twice, which is a positive thing for me because I'd lost the beginning and now I have it. So what I want to say here is I'm going to use the word elite, but I don't mean it in an elitist sense. But there are very few people on the planet who own real ninja scrolls, and in the space of 1 week or 1.5 weeks, I have come to own 2 of these ninja scrolls by a guy we've never heard of before, and which seems to be, even if that is definitely a transcription. I'll show you. This is definitely a transcription, and there's I've got to work out, who owned that, and there's his name. There it is. So what I've got to do now is obviously try and get it translated. But I just want to say that's an amazing coincidence that I'm here shopping, that Krista sent me the link, I went to this place, this guy's forcing me to look at it, and I'm like, okay then, right, I had a look, buy it on a whim, leads me right to, I now own 2 scrolls. So a superb look on my part, and I know people are going to ask about the price. I'm not going to say, of course, but this one was a bargain. I mean a bargain. And this one cost about 6 times the price. But normally, I spoke to one of the professionals, and a ninja scroll goes for about $3,000 to $5,000, maybe about £3,000, something like that. It all depends. Now, if you get something like the Bansen Shukai, the Shoninki, the price goes way up through the roof. But if you get like unknown things, so let's just say it was a good day's shopping. So I enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that. If you like ninjas and you want to know more, I have a website. Just click PDFs and you'll download and you'll get lots of free PDFs. If you want to know about our books, just click publications. Our books are on there. We've got translations of real historical ninja scrolls. And if you want to know what we do, just click TV and things like that and you'll see what we do. Please support our work and bring the history of the ninja to light. Thank you very much for your time, and I am now a very happy owner of some real ninja scrolls.
I'm here with Nico, and we're going to watch what we're watching? Dancing. We're going to watch traditional dancing from all over, I think the north of Japan. So we're watching dancing from all over Japan. So here's the theatre. Quite big.